Elon, welcome to JP Morgan's headquarters. You're on the 51st floor, which is about the equivalent of the nowhere near where you go generally in space, but as high as we can get in New York City. But before we get started with you and Jamie, we had a very special guest that wanted to welcome you here this afternoon. And so your mother, May Musk, is here to welcome you.
Right.
May, please stand up.
I don't think you can see me or everybody here.
They can see you. Yes,
okay.
he can.
This is your part.
I actually can't see my mom, but I can hear her, certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
No, there you are. Okay.
What I'd like to say is when you were 3 years old and I told people I have a genius son, they would roll their eyes. And then
Sure. Understandable, frankly.
I knew. And then when you said you wanted to start with rockets, then I rolled my eyes.
Sure.
And then you did it. And so this is just a great party here, and we're celebrating. Love you so much.
Love you too.
One proud mama, please.
So let me, Elon, welcome you. It's a really privilege to have you here on this momentous occasion. It's new for us, but it's an important thing, the trajectory of American innovation. We're here live, 3,500 people of our top individual investors around the world. In 100 branches, there are 350 people here, 3,500 around the country. This is a very unique thing, by the way, because Elon has spoken to me about democratizing finance. This is part of it, treating individual investors the same way institutions are treated, and hedge funds, and all those things. My view is it's a wonderful thing to do. Elon, very brave, by the way, because I would never let my mother speak publicly when I was in the room. God knows what she would have said.
I had no idea she was there, actually.
Elon's the Edison of our time. I remember visiting Elon in Tesla like 15 years ago. A whole new way of building cars, vertical integration, which had not been anything remote what our car companies are doing. Now you have SpaceX. I visited the SpaceX factory in California, and it's exceptional to have more than 650 rockets. And you told me one today, putting satellites in space. You have 9,000, almost 10,000 Starlink satellites up there. Starlink 3 is coming, which is a whole new generation, which hopefully will replace some of these undersea cables. It's been an extraordinary 24 years with watching Elon grow over time. And now, making a massive leap into the future. So welcome and coming here. Elon, I have 10 questions for you, so I want to make sure I get to each one. Some of them came from folks here. They're all important. But one, just to start, is why SpaceX public now? Because you had choices, you didn't have to. Why now?
Yeah, I've been asked for many years about taking SpaceX public. So it's probably been, I don't know, almost 10 years that people have been suggesting to me that I should take SpaceX public. We've been positive cash flow for quite a long time, I think, since around 2014, 2015. And we've been self-funding. In fact, in our private equity rounds, they actually have not been fundraising rounds. They've been liquidity rounds for investors and employees because we give everyone at the company stock. And SpaceX has actually bought back stock in most of our sort of funding events. So what's different about now is that it's a number of things, but we are embarking on a significant growth phase, like a capital growth phase, where we are going to put in orbit probably 100,000 satellites, or probably over 100,000 satellites just for communications. And these will be the version 3 and beyond versus version 2 and version 1 that are currently in orbit. Version 3 is, depending on how you count it, 10 to 20 times more capable than the version 2 satellite. And there were 3 chips that the SpaceX chip design team taped out that are specific to this, that are far beyond state of the art, which means it's 100 times more bandwidth than the SpaceX Starlink system currently offers. And also half the latency, because the altitude will be about half the altitude. I think it will actually be the highest bandwidth, lowest latency means of communicating. And the future with AI and robots is actually going to require a lot more bandwidth than we currently use. Because you can imagine, what's the bandwidth of a human? Its peak bandwidth of a human is a few hundred bits per second, but bandwidth of a computer can be 1 trillion bits a second. So the appetite for bandwidth of AI and robots is going to be enormous. And then we're also doing the AI data centers in space, which is another massive capital endeavor. But I think it'll be the primary means by which AI can be expanded. It's increasingly difficult to build power plants on the ground. There are very few people who want a power plant in their backyard. So if we wanted to, say, double the electricity usage of the United States, which is on average about 500 gigawatts, we would have to build about twice as many power plants, which I don't think most communities are not super excited about that. But actually, if we go to space, we can go far beyond the electricity generation of Earth. In fact, this is going to sound crazy, but you could actually increase harnessed energy by a factor of 1 million and still be using much less than 1/millionth of the sun's energy. So current human civilization uses much less than 1 trillionth of the sun's energy output, which is humbling to think about. We're really a tiny, when you see the true size of Earth relative to the sun, we're a tiny dust mote in a vast darkness. And the sun is enormous. The sun is 99.8% of all mass in the solar system, and most of the remaining 0.2% is Jupiter. Sometimes people ask me, I'm maybe going a little wide-ranging in this answer, but because they just asked me why you're being public now. I'm like talking about the sun's power output. Sort of a long-winded answer. If I was an AI, you might tell me to, okay. But also, but it is important. Some of these things are important because people sometimes wonder what's the future of energy generation. And I can say that it is absolutely solar power, or maybe a better word for solar power is star power. It's the power of a star. And the crazy thing is that it burnt all mass in the solar system that was not the sun. The amount of energy produced by the sun would still round up to 100%, because the sun is 99.8% of the mass of the solar system. Even if you teleported two more Jupiters from another, somehow teleported two more Jupiters from another solar system and burnt them too, the sun would round up to 100%. So it's very much the sun. And you can scale to 1 million times Earth's economy in space in terms of harnessed power, which is a good proxy for economic output, and still be much less than 1 millionth of the sun's energy, which is humbling, really, to think about how tiny we are. And this is just one star among many. So I guess the TL it would be, we're embarking on a massive new growth phase, and we need capital for that.
Okay, number two.